for another episode of Not Your Average Podcast. This is Not Your Average Monday, and we here in full effect, y'all. I'm your main man, William Hussey 365.
And I'm your girl, Ashley Good, better known as Ash Bash and the Panther Girl in your city.
And I am Wendy Armstrong, also known as Wendy HLP.
Yes, and I am Kimberly Hussey, also known as Miss Chewy Monroe.
Hey, and together we are
Not Your Average
Podcast. That's right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We have an amazing episode for y'all tonight. First, ladies,
Woo. Y'all want to start with me? Long.
long.
I had a long weekend, but it was a great weekend. First of all, I don't know why I can never remember. Is Friday considered a weekend day? I really know because I work.
Yeah. Friday is when the weekend starts.
My weekend starts Saturday morning. But anyway, on Saturday, we had an amazing time with Establishing Safe Culture Shifting Workshop in Windsor Center. This is the second stop for the Establishing Safe Culture tours. And we have about, I want to say 6 more stops this summer. But please make sure you guys get your children registered and bring them out, man. Bring them out. It's free food, free mentoring, free games. We had a wonderful time. So shout out to Establishing Safe Cultures and everyone who made it out this weekend to make that event a success. It was amazing.
Absolutely.
I really, really enjoyed the workshop. My workshop, Confidence Meets Fashion. The kids really enjoyed it. They enjoyed making the pickles with the I don't want to mess your name up. Tia Henderson, growing groceries and Green Thumb. There you go. Okay, it was an amazing experience for the kids to make pickles. So that was really good. And all the other departments. No, the kids were really talking about the pickles. I was like, all right, well, let me go ahead and make some pickles. And I made some pickles as well. Moving on right along, Saturday evening, congratulations to Kedrian Coleman and Jean Blackman on the engagement.
Yes. Congratulations.
Happy birthday to Kedrian Coleman. Thank you guys so much for always supporting the community and tuning in to Not Your Average Podcast. It was amazing. And on Sunday, I ended at a secret location, but I had a wonderful time. I saw a lot of people I hadn't seen in years. So shout out to Greensboro, and that wrapped up my weekend. And of course, I got the word in online this Sunday. That was my weekend.
Okay.
All right. How about you, Wendy Love?
My weekend was pretty good. It was a little challenging because I had to change up some things. My client passed away. My oldest client in her 90s. So, of course, funeral and all of that. And then I just really rested and spent time with my family. Yeah, that's it. But and then I was at also the engagement.
Yeah.
So I was grateful for that. But yes, that's how my weekend, as far as the Saturday, that's how it started, going to my client's funeral.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
My weekend was pretty good. I got some new opportunities starting this week, so I got time to prepare for them, harvest for them. I'm really excited about that. Of course, we went to church on Sunday. Sunday, we also did Conversations That Matter. Make sure y'all go check out our latest episode. It is on right now.
You already know.
Yes. And we talked about hip hop and hip hop culture and society, and it was just a good conversation. So make sure y'all stay tuned and check that one out as well.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
And I enjoyed that.
I know you did.
Yeah.
So I have to ask.
I was
you.
able to tell my favorite songs. I mean, my favorite artists.
Well, we got
Just
them
God.
in, and
Just God.
yeah.
Yeah, we were
I said
talking
I
about
was able
gangster
to
rap.
tell it.
Oh, okay.
Well,
We said, what's your favorite trap rapper, your favorite gangster rapper?
Did you do your research?
Wendy got offline. This is I can't.
I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Did you do your research on Sexy Red?
Nigel showed me who she was. Okay. All right.
Thank you,
A new hit.
Get up,
Sexy Red hit.
They play it so much. You don't have a choice.
Thank you, Chanel, for putting that in there.
Yeah.
But part 2 with the hip hop next Sunday. For
That's
this
right.
Sunday
That's
coming up.
right. You better know it. Chewy.
But that's it. How's your weekend, Will?
Oh, it was great. Phenomenal. I did everything y'all did, plus some. And I'm back here on Monday. But I had a good time at Establishing Safe Cultures Workshop, man. It was something about this one because I believe for me, it was more so the return kid that knew your name, that remember what we taught them the first time. So to see how they retained the information and maintained it and came back and kicked it to us and we're ready and excited for another workshop. You know what I'm saying? So, and one thing, shout out to Lynch and Gene Blackman, Dr. Gene Blackman, is the results. That's what matters. Where are the results? So I think for this workshop, I've really seen the results just in a week. And we still got more dates to go. You know what I'm saying? So it was just a beautiful thing, man, just to see them come out. And we did an amazing job. Shout out to everybody that was a part of it as well. Shout out to Windsor Center for hosting this that particular workshop. I think we got another one at Windsor too, but that was super dope. For me, that was the highlight outside of the engagement, because I can't knock the shine of my brother and sister, Dr. Gene Blackman and Keidra and Coleman, man. So shout out to them. Newly engaged couple. It's a beautiful thing. So it was just an exciting time to be a part of it, and it was a humbling experience, and I embraced it and I appreciated being a part of that. You know, that history in the making. You know what I mean? So that was a beautiful thing. And of course, church, Mount Zion, did their thing. Shout out to Bishop, as always, and conversations that matter. And then we turned up for Keidra, celebrated her. We went out. Celebrating Keidra, so that was super dope. So it was her birthday. She got
Had a good weekend.
Right.
We've been rolling all week, kind of, sort of. So, man, it was just a beautiful thing. But I think that was a very big surprise for her. She was not expecting it, and it was just like caught her totally off guard. But I think it was well appreciated. She appreciated that from that black man, that black brother, that man that she pour into and lift up every morning. For him to come back like that, I got to salute that king. Shout out to Dr. Gene Blackman and Keidra and Coleman. We celebrate today. So my weekend and average about to get straight to it, man. So yeah. But without further ado, do you want to do some comments before we
I do. I just want to give a few shout outs. Shout out to the lovely Chanel Foster.
Hi.
Thank you so much for always being.
Who might
Who in and out? Who in and out? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. All right. Again, shout out to Chanel Foster. Thank you for always supporting Not Your Average Podcast.
Yes.
Thankful Thursday. Conversations that matter. I'm sure you support Pick Me Up Sis. Thank you so much for always supporting us. We appreciate you so much. Marquita Pratt, thank you so much for joining as well. My deepest condolences to you and your family. They lost a really, really close family member.
Oh,
and please keep them uplifted.
So sorry.
In your prayers, guys. I saw her yesterday. Good seeing you yesterday, sis. Please keep the Pratt family in your prayers. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Let's see next. Through God is in the building.
Hey, Through God.
Through God, what up?
Edwin Torres says, hi, family. Your mics keep going in and out. Thank you. Through God is in the building. Chevelle's in the building.
What up?
Edwin Torres says, Will. And Marquita Pratt says, thank you so much. Definitely needs those prayers. Jean said, peace and love, y'all.
Hey, Jean.
Yes.
I think he was saying my mic keep going out.
Oh,
When you talk about my mic.
Got on to that later.
And hey, Paul Clapp. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Paul. And shout out to T Nice Rose.
Hey, T Nice.
Everybody is VIP, but she's definitely one of our VIP viewers as well. Thank you so much. Hi, Brooke J. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Hey,
if
Brooke.
you need your makeup done, please reach out to Brooke J. She is phenomenal. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Can you hear me now, Edwin? Can you hear me? I hear me, so I know you hear me.
You can hear yourself?
Am I good now? Yeah.
Okay.
Through God. You about to shout like SpongeBob. Go ahead. We hear you.
Hey, who lives in the pineapple?
Can y'all hear me now? Is my back? Can somebody say something in the comments?
Is Will in the game? Okay. Testing 1, 2.
Mhm.
Anybody.
Somebody tell us if you can hear Brother Will. They
Mhm.
say yes.
Good. Thank you, Edwin. Edwin, all I got. He holding me down.
Thank you, Edwin.
Appreciate it, Edwin.
Thank you, E. We appreciate you.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. Y'all ready?
Yes.
We ready.
Yes.
All right, man. So I mean, it's time to bring this brother up, man. It's just been a time had. I had the pleasure of meeting this brother and conversating with him a couple of times to get him on the show. But he's a busy man to keep up with. But he's doing amazing things for the city, man. And I'm super duper proud of him for even putting this particular project together. But super proud of him for representing Greensboro. You know what I mean? I mean, and that's one of the biggest things that I feel like his vision behind this particular project is to put us on the map. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And bring that feel of the film industry to our city and let people know you can do it too, and you can do it from home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited, man. Let's go ahead and welcome my brother up here, man, Mr. David Williamson.
Woo, woo.
Yes. So
Y'all
as he
y'all
gets
share
settled
that
in,
live,
man,
share that live.
he is the writer, director, and producer of the upcoming movie Eat the Bread.
Hey.
So let's give it up for him one more time, y'all. Give it up for him one more time.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Did y'all hear those accolades? Okay,
Yes,
just wanna
yes,
make
yes.
sure.
So introduce yourself for the people who might not know you, and let them know a little bit about yourself. Where you from? Where it all started for you.
Okay. I want to first give y'all a shout out. Thank you,
Thank
man,
you.
for having me here. I appreciate the energy. It's live. Up
Yeah,
here. I got
for
me
sure.
excited.
Not your average, baby.
So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Greensboro, born and raised. I grew up Morningside Homes, which is
Right.
everybody knows
Shout out to the
Grove,
Grove.
right?
Yep.
And I did a year at Page. I was part of that whole busing thing when people from the Grove went to Claxton and went to Irving Park and went to Mendenhall, and I ended up doing a year. That was my school life right up until I did my freshman year at Page. And shout out to all my boys from Claremont. I went to school with mostly Claremont English Village guys or whatnot, and school wasn't going so well, and I ended up leaving school. And when I decided to go back, I ended up going to Dudley, right? So what most people don't know, a few people do know, is that my high school was tough for me. I initially dropped out, and then when I decided to go back, because my mom, my family, everybody was on me like, there's no way you going. We got too many folks that didn't finish school, right? So I ended up going back, and I went to Dudley, and I was blessed, praying. So that was a whole nother story in itself. I had to make up all that time that I dropped out of school. I had to go to school for 2 years in one,
Wow.
in order to graduate. And I knew when I graduated what I wanted to do was join the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And the Marines military was like, well, we ain't taking no more GEDs. So you gotta get a diploma.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, man.
time they was-
Yeah. So at that time they was only taking like one or two, and they weren't gonna take a GED from me. So I had to have a diploma. So I ended up going to school because of that time I dropped out. I ended up going to school from like 5:30 in the morning. I was going to Weaver. And then I was finishing up at like 11:30 at night at GTCC.
Wow.
In order for me to graduate, man.
time, yeah.
And when I say God is good, because
Oh,
that
definitely.
almost didn't happen.
Yes.
That almost didn't happen. And I graduated, walked the stage, my diploma from Dudley. And a few weeks later, I was on the bus to Paris Island to the Marine Corps. It was a whole nother world. And I spent 8 years in the Marines, man.
Wow.
And from there, I didn't come back I was coming back periodically, but I didn't come back officially to NC until 2003.
Oh, wow.
I come back, I'm like, where the Grove at?
Oh, it's gone by that time.
Mhm.
They done tore the Grove down.
Yeah.
So my whole life I've always been writing, right? Poetry, poems, and stuff like that. And then when I got into military, I kind of honed down on my writing. I hated school when I got to the military.
Mhm.
After my first 6 months in the Marine Corps, I knew I needed to go back to school.
Right.
Right. So from that point on, up until when I just finished, right, getting my MFA from the School of the Arts, I was in school. I was, yeah, I
That
was
whole time. Huh?
that man. So this was my second master's degree. This is
Wow.
So I've been going to school that long.
Forever.
But
we
it's
need some claps for some of this.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
for a brother to be going that much.
Appreciate
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel the struggle.
yeah, because it definitely was a struggle, right?
It's okay. You made it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So, but one of the things that I learned, man, is that you can never learn enough, and you can always learn something else,
Most definitely,
right?
brother.
And when one of the things that the military helped me out with was that I'm naturally an introvert, and that's not going to work in the film industry. It's such a close knit industry,
Right.
and people like to work with people that they know. So you really have to come out of that shell. And the military really helped me, especially Marine Corps, really helped me come out that shell. And I ended up, I say this, but I got kind of, I picked up a little souvenir of my wife and from when I was in the military,
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
and yeah, got we were together, but got married a couple years later. And I moved back to NC, but I moved to Gastonia, North Carolina.
Oh, okay, okay.
And things kind of happened then that my journey, man, I ended up being homeless for almost 2 years.
Wow.
Mm.
Right. And I kept it from my family for a hot minute. Right. And it took me praying and really just getting myself back to where I started to climb out of that. I started utilizing my VA benefits, and I started going back to school. They pay you to go to school, and I climbed out of that. God willing, that's some of the most serious praying I did in my life, man.
Most definitely, yeah.
And I wrote about it's a time period that I wrote about as well. But to bring me up to where I was blessed to get a job doing security at Wells Fargo, I was blessed to get a job to be in corporate. I was in Family Dollar corporate offices. I worked for them for a while, and I managed to squeeze out my almost 18 years. I think I was there. So I managed to squeeze out my associate's, bachelor's, and a master's, and my project management certificate in that time frame.
Wow.
And ended up living really good, and ended up getting laid off. And it was at that point that we were like, yo, are you going to do this film thing or what? Right? Because I've been writing. And I did a 18-week course, just a little certificate with the New York Film Academy. And when I got done with that, I realized I didn't know nothing. And I was, these folks that were in this, to me, it's an amazing thing when you support yourself fully on your dream.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Most definitely.
These people were fulfilling their dream and keeping their lights on. That was amazing to me, right?
Yeah.
This is all you do.
Right.
So that made me hungry.
Yeah.
Like I want to get to that
Motivation,
point,
yeah.
right? To where if you're acting, if you're writing, that's all you do. And you can keep food in your fridge. Right. I don't care what level you're on, but if you can do that, you're amazing.
Yeah,
You've
for sure.
already, whatever that is. So I decided that I wanted to try to get into the School of the Arts at that point. And I had done my first short film, about 33 minutes long. A Such Thing Is Too Late. You can find it on YouTube or whatnot. And I used that, and I got into the School of the Arts, man. And that was a game changer.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Absolute game changer. School of the Arts in Winston ranked in like the top 5, top 10, top 20 in the world. It's like one of the #1 film schools.
And we have no idea that it's
Right?
in here in the triad.
Not to mention the alumni that
I
went
actually
there.
just heard that like a week ago from somebody.
Give them the rundown on the even the professors and teachers. Yeah.
So
they not just
no, man. So the people, and I tell folks all the time, right? For the phases for me is that it was like, okay, this is no longer a pipe dream. Am I Hollywood worthy? Right. That was the realization for me. And it was tough for a couple months. And then once you realize you're Hollywood worthy, and you got to decide, okay, can I do this? Once you get past that phase, then you have to accept the fact that ain't nothing easy about it. This is hard.
Oh yeah, you
Hard
got to put that work
right?
in. Yeah.
And the folks that teaching the class, right? These are folks that have worked on major pictures that you know, like one of my main mentors. I told her I was going to give her a shout out tonight. Is Lauren Vilcek.
Lauren
Vilcek. She did Cabin Fever 1 and 2. Right. So she's the
Super
one
dope.
that's like going over your stuff, telling you, tweak this, change that. Chris Dorr, who was a part of Dead Poet Society, a couple other projects. Kimberly Zubik, Dig Zookeeper's wife. So these are the people that you're learning from that are telling you. And then film school isn't like you get there, okay, here, work on this. It's like, nah, bring us your stuff, your ideas.
Yeah.
We're gonna take your ideas and get them to the point that you can, present them to somebody.
Right.
And that's what happened. It was 2 years, man. And you have to want it.
Right.
Want it. And I just recently, graduated May 18th.
Congratulations.
Yes.
So I can officially say I'm done with school.
Right.
That was it for me, right?
20 years. We done that.
But
it's time to get paid.
Yeah. So even during that time frame, you meet a lot of talented people in my cohort. And one of the things for me was building that network. It's essential, man. And don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. I reached out to a couple of people that I won't say, but are pretty well known, right? And email self, okay, what do you need help with? I know this person, I know that person, and this is what you're trying to do. This is what I want to do. And meeting people with the NC Film Commission, meeting people in Charlotte, in that Charlotte film scene, and just building that network. The biggest thing is when you set that goal, right? When you put that goal up there, no matter what's going to happen, because it's life, things are going to happen. There are going to be things, to me, I tell people all the time, things happen that can derail your entire project all the time. And my favorite words is push through. Right. You got to push through, because you never finish nothing, if you let those things get to you. So that's what brought me to this point. It was crazy because I was telling people about a few folks about, I've traveled the world. I went to all kinds of different countries. I lived in Japan and Italy. I lived all over the U.S., Cincinnati, and Greensboro is unique, man. Greensboro, you
tell them again,
that's unique, man. Really unique. And you don't know the history here, right? You don't know the stories here. I'm old enough to remember, not only remember, but I was there, the massacre of 79.
Right.
Went inside, right? My uncle came and ran and grabbed me and drugged me in the house. And my granddad was like, yo, the Klan's here. And I'm like, what's the Klan? First time I ever heard it, right?
What age were you at that time?
I was about 6 years old.
Oh, you little boy.
Yeah, a little boy. But I remember that vividly, man. We were all laying down on the floor as they were shooting. I remember that. I remember a couple other things that happened in the city. But the history here is unique in itself. And I tell people all the time, I'm working pretty extensively with the city. I tried to shoot my first film in a pretty, metropolitan major city. Got no love.
Wow.
Right? They just wasn't hearing it. My budget wasn't big enough. I wasn't big enough. So I say, let me go home. Let me go home. And man, the city just opened their doors.
Wow.
Shout out to Creative Greensboro. They were phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. They literally, it wouldn't have happened
without them.
Without, really, it wouldn't have. Even with the budget that we had and that was probably one of the hardest projects I was on. Our first day on set was 12 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And we left that thing like, man, we don't know we can do this. But everybody showed up the next day. So we got it done. But yeah, the city in itself is wonderful, man. And I want this to be a project for the city, about the city.
Right.
You know what I
So let's just go ahead and jump into it. And thank you for sharing that journey. And I know it's a little bit more. We probably can talk for days about it. But let's go ahead and jump into it because I want people to understand it's just tuning in what we're talking about. So now we're working on the what? Go ahead and do the introduction of your new project.
So now, this project, I have a slate of projects, but Eat the Bread is my main project, right? So for those that don't know, Eat the Bread is based on a Greensboro urban legend,
Right.
unique to our different sides of town. When I say our, I mean those, east side, south side,
Right.
west side, Smith Homes,
Mhm.
English Village, Claremont, The Heights,
Morningside.
Greenfield, Morningside, Ray One. We all know, especially if you're in a certain age group. You done heard the name before. And each side of town seems, have their own different version, maybe a different way of saying it.
Yeah.
But it's all unique to us. My shout out to my boy Kazi, 4 Letters, that was the lead in my first film, man. Him and I were talking about it while we were shooting Such Thing Is Too Late. And he was like, man, I was in college with some dudes from Greensboro talking about Eat the Bread.
Yeah. Everybody got their own.
I ain't know what they, you know
Right.
what I mean? So I felt like this story is rich enough, powerful enough that it can be told, involving so many different things. It's a period piece, takes place in the 80s, between 81 and 85, with a focus on 81 and 83. And it was so much going on back then, right? So much going on back then. It was right after the massacre of 79 and during the height of the Atlanta child murders. I met so many people that don't even know about the Atlanta child murders, right? 29 folks that kids that never came back home alive, right? So there was a certain fear, right? That's come, in the house when the street lights come on, type deal that was unique to, like I say, the way I explain it and articulate it. It was unique to Black mothers in the South, man.
Right.
Because they didn't, you didn't trust nobody. They made sure, my mom made sure you didn't trust nobody. They didn't care who it was.
Right.
You ran.
Yeah.
Right. So that fear was like permeating throughout, but you still went out and played. You still did your thing. And I was in the Grove.
Yeah.
Right. So the first time I heard the name Eat the Bread, I was going to Claxon. I think I was in the 2nd grade, and I was getting off the bus, and some kids was chunking rocks at what I thought was a homeless guy, a bum or something. And he turned around, and you just got the whole face and everything. And we took off running, and from that day on, it was like you stayed away.
This true story, right?
This happened.
True story. This is you making it up.
Yeah.
This is you actually.
So
yeah.
Like I tell everybody, so Eat the Bread, without giving away too much, without spoiling it. It's a combination of fiction and nonfiction, right? Some elements, a lot of elements of the story are happen or true. A lot of the events are, some things are done for movie purposes, but I won't spoil it for nobody. Like we said, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want to make this a really powerful, rich story for folks to enjoy. What I can share, man, one of the core elements of the story is a relationship between a grandmother and her grandson, right? Like we had those unique. We still had big mamas back then, right. And then it's about faith in our community and a couple other things. I was talking to somebody that one of my mentors that did a project that involved a lot of witchcraft, and I'm like, you never heard of roots? It's like, I ain't never heard. I say, yeah, that's real, roots. Something that we know about, which derives from like hoodoo, right? Which is a part of the Eat the Bread story. So,
right. Yeah. Dope, man. Thank you for the introduction. I'm gonna let the ladies get their questions in because we got a lot of questions for you. So we're gonna dive right into it.
Do you want to go into the actual trailer?
Right after let's get the comments and then let's go to the trailer. Okay, and then you start the question. All Good job, Chewy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job, Chewy. Give it up for Chewy Monroe.
Production.
All right, guys, if you're just now tuning in, you are watching the award-winning Nacho Average podcast, and we are here, and we are getting the details, and we are getting everything we need to know about the legendary.
They got the links in the
Eat
comments.
the
and
bread.
everything.
Eat the bread. So please make sure you share the live. Share the live for a chance to win $25 at the end of each and every episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. So, jumping in the comments, when you were saying you went to the big city and they just basically didn't want to show you no love, Chanel Foster said they're lost because you're dope.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
She also said shout out to like Creative Greensboro. They're really dope.
Oh yeah,
I actually
absolutely.
I rock with them. Kendra Attaway says can't wait. Logan Street.
Hey, shout out to Logan Street.
Right. Travis Gilmore says, my people, bro, that's dope what you're doing. Big ups.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Thank
What
you.
up, brother?
Absolutely.
Hi, Travis.
And thank you, Chanel Foster, for dropping the link in the comments. We appreciate it. Thank you, as always. And guys, that's all it for the comments. So if you guys have any questions in regards to this new movie that's coming, please drop it in the comments if you want to ask any questions. Questions in regards to Eat the Bread. What is your story? What is your version of the story? Because everybody has their own version, right?
Mhm.
So listen real quick. I want to start out. Sound like a scary movie, don't I? I just want us to start out with like a 10-second version of our Eat the Bread story. Okay? You want to go first, Will?
I thought it was fake because I was born in 81. So if now it makes sense when you say between 79 and 85, that was the era. So when I got a whiff of it, I was already in elementary. I think I was at Peeler at that time off Willow Road. Shout out to Dudley Heights. Went to school everywhere. But that's when I started getting a whiff of it. And I was like, eat the bread, eat it. But we thought it was like a candy man. Like it was just what's that? What you call them type of mysteries? Urban legends.
Yeah.
Urban legends. So it was just like, what's eat the bread, eat the bread. So it was just like, I don't want to see eat the bread. And then one day, one of my classmates broke it down like, nah, that's a real person. It's a homeless guy in the neighborhood up the street that just looked crazy, but he always chased kids. Like he do something bad to kids. You know, we in second, third grade. So I don't know what the hell talking about. So it's like, what? Okay. But I didn't stay over there, so I didn't really see it anyways. But it was just like, okay. And then it was one time I remember when it was like you look in the mirror and say eat the bread three times. And yeah. So it was that thing like Candyman. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's new to me. I ain't heard that.
No, that was real talk. Yeah. And it was just like, he gonna come, tell it. So I thought it was like a hoax, not an urban legend. So I didn't know it was serious. And that's my take on it. That's what I got. And then after that, we grow old. I didn't hear too much else about it. So it's interesting for me to learn firsthand from you exactly the dialogue and the story, the background behind it, because you actually lived in the neighborhood with them. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay, my short take on it was
Travis said, man, I used to be scared.
He said I used to be scared. Travis Gilmore said I used to be scared as hell.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But my take on it was we had all the neighborhood kids and the older kids, I guess they really remember Eat the Bread. So they used to we gather at the park and then everybody's like, yeah, because Eat the Bread, y'all better be in the house before the lights go off because Eat the Bread coming outside. He gonna get somebody. Right. Don't be the last one outside when the street lights come on. So then we was just automatically scared off that.
And that was on the south side, correct?
This was on the south side of Greensboro, Hampton Homes. So it was this guy. His real name was Mr. Lewis, but everybody used to always say he was Eat the Bread. The older kids used to make us think he was Eat the Bread, right? He was a homeless man down on his luck, and he used to drink. He had his little alcohol with him and stuff, and he'll ask the kids for money and things like that. And so the older kids used to make us think that was Eat the Bread. So we actually physically saw a man pushing a basket, like a basket from Food Lion. Mm-hmm. And so when Mr. Lewis came around, we all ran like we were scared. Like literally the next day we didn't want to go outside. They said he's going to chase you. And one day Mr. Lewis acted like he was going to chase us. But I don't think he knew that the older kids told us he would chase us. So that was my take on Eat the Bread. And I believed it. I believe Eat the Bread. But I didn't know he was a real person, for real. So that's my take. You can't tell us your take because you know it already. All right, Wendy.
My take was we would go down to my uncle's house, which lived in Ray Warren, and it was on Logan Street. Mm-hmm. And we would go over there on the weekends. And of course, Tina, I don't know if y'all know Tina Mebane. She would always be like, "Eat the bread around here." And so we kind of
What
like from
age was you?
terracotta, so we ain't know nothing about no eat the
What,
bread.
what age group?
We had to be about maybe about 8,
Yeah,
7,
elementary.
8.
So, about the
Yeah,
same time
yeah,
for me too.
And so we was like, eat the bread, like that. So we would be walking, and it was just like abandoned house over there. You see that?
Mhm.
Well, they got some
It was
stories.
an
Black folks.
abandoned
boy.
house.
Well, everybody gonna have a different.
So-
That's good.
So it was an abandoned house over there. And so when we would walk past the house, we'd be scared because she'd be like, he be in there.
Eat the bread.
Like that. Eat the bread. And we was like, because we coming from the other side of town.
Right,
so
right,
we were
right.
like, what you mean? So we was like, we better go. So all of a sudden, this man with this blue truck, he was dark skinned, had on these dirty clothes and this big beard. And he was all you could see is his white eyes. That's how dark he was. And all of a sudden he came coming out like that
Out
and
the
did
house?
like that, did like that to us. We was like,
Yeah, right.
he's the
That's a good one. Winnie, good one.
So we really felt like that was in the bread. And we told my mama, we said, eat the bread was chasing us. And she said, I told y'all to stay over here. So we really felt like that was eat the bread.
But you know what's
All
funny?
these years.
Is everybody got their own description
Yeah,
of it. On each side of town, it was like a whole. I thought he was in the mirror.
But
She seen the man pushing the cart. You seen a house, abandoned house in the blue truck. Chewy, you got to bring it on home.
Okay, so I found out about Eat the Bread last week. Y'all know when y'all was in elementary, y'all was in daycare.
Right.
Can we get some sound on the board? Can we get that one?
We need some of that creep.
The creepy sound.
You should play that for Wendy.
Yeah.
But I did reach out to my
No, you
older
good, you good.
homegirls and stuff like that and ask questions, so I could be prepared for the episode. And the first thing they said was, "Well, is it real, Kim?" I said, I don't know. I'm telling you, But so it is an interesting story. But when they were telling me their stories about it and how they were scared, and they would be the same way running around and stuff like that, it just reminded me of my urban legend or our urban legend when we were growing up, which were like the like you said, the Candy Mans and the little girl with the red and stuff like that. I can't remember her name. But yeah,
What's that?
Carrie.
Was
Carrie.
that the girl under the bridge?
Carrie.
No,
That's
that's
the
Jamestown.
dread.
That's another local urban legend.
Oh, Jamestown.
the brown,
yeah.
the brown under that bridge.
That bridge.
Boy.
And
Yeah.
it's funny because
I
when
believed
Bill
it.
had
I
first
seen
taught
it.
me about it, that's what we related to. Well, I could relate to, which was our urban legend, which was the girl under the bridge in Jamestown. And so, theory is you don't ride under that bridge when it's
Yeah.
raining, or else you'll see the girl, or
That
you're
look
gonna get in a
good.
car accident. Yeah. So
I actually found the news article for the real girl.
Oh, so that was true.
Oh yeah, that's true. It happened in
Another one bites the dust. We
It
got in the month
happened-
today. So it took all these years for us to realize these stories was
that
true.
happened in the 1920s or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
so
true.
once
Yeah.
you get of age and you start hearing this stuff, it's that's dope to go
Yeah.
back and know that this stuff was really true. Because you didn't know.
Mm-mm.
You just thought the
Yeah.
homies was playing games.
We was
Yeah.
just scared.
But that's it. I know you were scared.
I was scared.
So the fact that we use the fact that each side of town has their own different
Right.
version because we want to make this franchise sequels. So the first installment is the east side. I don't want to give away the story.
Yeah. Do your thing.
But at the end of it's pretty obvious it's going to be a sequel, and that we show how now it's the spirit of Eat the Bread. So now it's the spirit of Eat the Bread that goes to the south side and becomes that guy.
Oh man, pushing
Or
that back.
Goes to the north
house.
side.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Eat the bread, eat the bread.
So you
So,
can go anywhere.
we going-
Yeah.
East side of town is going to get represented in a way. That's the goal. That's what we want to do. So we think we got a pretty dope story.
Oh, I think you got a
Yeah.
pretty dope story. Can I get some hand claps for this brother, man? You definitely got a dope story, bro. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, so that was my little segment. I just really have one question. Where would you see yourself in 3 to 5 years with this whole dream of yours when it comes to the Eat the Bread story and just production and things like that? once you reach what peak would you say, thank you God, I made it?
Oh man, I do that now.
Okay.
I do that. I gotta I tell everybody, anybody, everything about me from head to toe is God.
Man.
I gave up on me so many times.
Hey, for sure.
Man.
We all have.
But he didn't.
He didn't. He wouldn't
Mhm.
let me. You know what I mean? So even when I was going through that period in my life that I was homeless, man, I always had that voice, that feeling. That's part of the story, right? Is I'll give a phrase, a little tease, a tidbit to where the little boy is having an issue in the neighborhood where his father is a stepfather, and it's known, and he's getting picked on by that not being his real daddy, and he has this dream or this moment that where he goes to bed sad, and he's woken up to this voice that says, "I'm all the father you will ever need."
Mm.
Right? So that's from my life. You know, I take that and make that profound. Everything about me is God. I pray about it. I prayed about everything. I pray about everything. So for me, even to be at this point, you know, I give thanks, you know. For my little dream, I guess, is whenever Eat the Bread gets made, I would love to buy a ticket to some little unknown city and sit in the back of a theater and watch strangers enjoy my film.
Right.
Like, that's
gonna be
my
dope.
That's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope.
that's my goal.
You gonna do it too.
That's dope. That's
Mhm.
dope.
I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm always giving thanks to God, and part of this is there's a huge spiritual component to this because this is it's going to be an ultimate good versus evil type ending to this.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And then hopefully we can carry on with the franchise.
There you go.
That's
Good
dope.
job.
Good job. Yes. Another hand clap, please.
Good job, Wendy. Good job.
All right, y'all ready to showtime
Yeah,
Yeah.
showtime.
Go ahead.
right now.
Everybody focus on the screen. We got something for you.
Grandma, where are you?
All urban legends contain elements of truth.
Grandma! They're singing again.
But when truth rivals myth, fear takes over.
I'm scared. Grandma! Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
So what y'all think? Did y'all like the trailer? Put your comments in the comment
Yes,
section.
yes, yes.
So man,
So
oh, I
even
can't wait
with
to
gonna
see
be
it.
good.
I can't wait to see
Introduce
it.
the actor right there, the main character that's playing actually Eat the Bread.
So that's a brother I found through another connection, Minataka. So
Yeah, dope
he's
brother.
he's phenomenal, man. Brother actively involved in the film industry in NC. So I seen him, man. This been in the works for a couple of years. So
Right.
I saw him a couple of years ago through another actress, one of my favorite actresses out there, Amber Barnes, who was also in my first project, A Such Thing Too Late. And she was like, "Yo, this guy would be perfect for it."
Right.
And when I saw him, I knew he was right. So we've been talking, man. We had so many things happen. We've been trying to film that since last year. And so many things kept happening. So many things came up. I was still in school, pretty deep in school, and the school was involved. This was actually like my thesis statement.
Right.
So excuse me. So the school was actively involved, but it's like I said, one of those things. Something always comes up that could derail the whole thing, and you got to push through, man. And we went up there to the tunnel, ACOG tunnel.
Oh yeah,
right.
You know that famous, infamous tunnel
right there, right. That whole was Noco Park, Windsor Center area.
And somebody
all of
went through that tunnel when we was there. It's this Saturday.
Yeah.
Apparently, her daughter went through there. We said, "You better be careful going through
Yeah,
there." She said,
man.
"I'm good."
Now.
She made it out though.
Yeah.
She made it out.
That
She was good.
that whole area, man. So a lot of back in the days, especially, there was a lot of missing, folks, missing children and people, adults, and some people would show up, murdered or whatever, and people would blame it on Eat the Bread, right? Things like that, I believe, happened right up into the 90s, right? Some cases I won't go into, but a lot of stuff you can Google.
Yeah, just public information.
Yeah, you can Google most of this stuff, and people would say that was Eat the Bread. But for me, it was specifically the East Side.
Yeah, for sure.
East side of Greensboro.
And you said it was all men.
It was all men. Not going in too much detail.
Right.
My incidents, my situation. It was a guy that appeared to practice the roots, the witchcraft, and the story behind him was that he was known for that, to mess with kids and to practice witchcraft and roots and stuff like that. So that's my particular situation.
Gotcha.
Story like that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So when will this be
Wendy
coming
Love?
So
out?
a lot of like I was saying earlier, we got a lot of things in motion. Things are still kind of fluid. The goal, right, is we're going to do some serious promoting. One of the things that I have in the works is like a mockumentary where I have an actor that's a journalist that she plays a character that does investigative journalism, right? And she's going to go around the city and ask people. And then she's going to investigate the particular story that I'm using for my Eat the Bread story, which involves actual places and facilities and stuff like that. She just simply asked, was this a real person or not?
Yeah.
Right. That's something we're gonna start working on the fall of this year. I'm actually talking with somebody about doing a comic version, almost like an anime comic. So we're gonna keep y'all fed in between time frame. Yeah.
Don't leave nothing on the table.
We got merchandising. I got some shirts for y'all.
Let's get it right there. Let's get it right there.
Eat the Bread
We
shirts.
love when our guests bring gifts.
Yes.
Guys, if you're just not tuning in, you are watching the award-winning Nacho Average podcast. Please make sure you share this live. Share this live. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave your questions in the comment section. Thank you.
Share the
We
live
have
or eat the bread.
gifts, y'all.
Okay. Yeah, I got all kinds of different sizes in here.
All right.
So y'all gonna have to go in here and find your
Okay.
size.
All right.
But it's all kinds of different sizes. So these right here are it's like the one I got on. These aren't gonna get made anymore. So y'all got
these
the
are
exclusive.
We got the
right
exclusive
here.
joints. We got the
So,
exclusives.
Yeah, we are gonna make some, but these right here are gonna be it for this style.
You're gonna have to sign mine, David. Yes, I need a signature on the back.
All right, yeah,
Let
definitely.
me find me a mark.
End of the day.
Because when y'all look up and y'all see that number one in the box office, he came to Nacho Average podcast first.
Okay.
Absolutely. So,
Oh no, go ahead.
oh,
It's
so
on
I'm
me.
trying to get it.
Or you? Okay. Would you do Eat the Bread as a screenplay as well, or is it just going to be a movie?
I think for what I really want to do with this story is I really want I create from like an emotional standpoint. I got some people I know are like logistical writers. Some people I know are more visual. I'm emotional. So I think for this to hit emotionally
Mhm.
the way I want it to, it has to be a feature. It has to have a you. I want you to get the full experience in the theater, in the movie theater from this right here. So I think for it to really come across the way that I really wanted to do, just it's theatrical,
Okay.
it's like a feature, like a screenplay.
Okay. Who is the most inspirational person in your life?
Oh man, I got so many. Definitely going back to my mom, my grandmother who passed away, who is the character in this Mabel.
We saw about that
Family,
too.
I appreciate. Yeah, she was amazing. A lot of people knew her. She was part of the original when they first started, immigrating to the Grove. In '55, I think it was, and she was one of the first families over there, and everybody knew her, like though from back in the days. But my mom, right now, my whole family, we're like creative. She does amazing jewelry, and then I got other people that in the family that do music. I got some that are writers. But right now, my mom, I'm always, um, again, God first.
Yes.
A lot of my motivation comes from my spiritual connection, and the reason why I don't quit, I can't, I don't stop, I can't quit because I know what's promised to me. I made it through all of this stuff,
Absolutely.
right? So I know, what God has in store for me.
Yes.
But yeah, right now, just my not I couldn't put it to one person, but my core support system right now. Yeah,
Okay. If you could choose a person in the Bible, who would it be?
David.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to
David.
David.
Okay.
David.
David and Goliath.
Yep, it'd be David for sure.
Okay. And last question is, what's one word that describes you?
Um, One word that describes me.
Creative, brilliant.
Um, I would say, yeah, ambitious.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a good work.
Yeah,
Good work. Good work.
Chewy. Thank you,
Production.
Wendy.
It's production's turn.
Listen,
Yeah.
producer to producer. I'm just kidding. So, David, is there anywhere we can go to find the rest of your work? I know you spoke on the other few other films that you already have out.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can find me. I'm on IMDb. So there's films that I've produced, a couple uh cohort members from my class that I produced, a couple of their projects that are out there. So you can find me under David Williamson and David Speaks. I'm still trying to get everything under David Speaks is my pseudonym, and David Williamson is like my government name, right?
Mhm.
So you can find a lot of my stuff under David Williamson and David Speaks on IMDb. Um, you can find a such thing as Too Late on YouTube. It's mine. It's 33 minutes. My short.
Good film too. By the way, good.
I love that project. I said took so much to do.
I'm gonna send all them the link tonight so they can check it out.
And it deals with domestic violence. So definitely check it out. It's one that was dear to us because it took so much, and we finished it. We got it done and put it out there. But yeah, IMDb. You can find me on. I'm on LinkedIn as well, but most of my work you can find on YouTube and IMDb. I have a couple shorts out there that I produced and helped produce. I produced this young talented sister girl from Brooklyn, from school. She has a project called Where It's Happy. Another really good friend of mine, Julian, I helped produce, get one of his projects off the ground. So if you IMDb me, you can find some of these things haven't come out yet, but some of them will in time. So.
I love that. I love that. So writer, producer, and director. Tell me about wearing those three different hats in this one project and how difficult it is doing all three.
Well,
If it is difficult, it might be easy for you.
In all fairness and transparency, I won't be doing all of those on this project
Okay.
because this is going to be a major project, and more than anything, I'm a collaborator, so I don't have to direct everything that I do. The hat that I typically wear majority of the time is producer, and after that it would be writer, because most of the stuff that I have out there, um, I have some projects that haven't come out yet, just footage. I wrote and produced those, and I did some directing on a few other projects, but I'm more of a collaborator.
Mhm.
Like I work with people that are like extremely talented, and the team of guys that I work with on this shooting this for Eat the Bread are extremely talented, and we just we get together and say, hey, we're gonna do this shot this way, that shot this way. Let's get over here and set the camera up over here. You can't always do that, but whenever you work with a really good team, you learn to collaborate
Yeah.
and wear multiple hats.
So, what are some
Oh.
qualities that you look for in your production team?
Um, Something I learned a long time ago in my corporate days. There's a difference between working together versus working well together, right? So I look for folks that I work well together with. I mean that the way it was explained to me is that it's a difference in between making your quarter every year versus making it every 3 months, right? Having a team that you work really well with and that you gel with. In this business, it pays to be humble. It pays to never be the one that claim to know everything, because there's no such thing as knowing everything.
Right.
And people that are just genuinely good natured and want to be a part of the project. Right. I've had folks, I've had decisions that I've made on a couple of my projects where somebody may have seemed to be the most talented, but another person just came across so passionate about, especially with my actors. And I know I made the right decision, and the project, was fire. So, attitude is number one.
Yes.
Yeah, with me,
So important.
definitely.
So important. So, how do you handle unexpected issues that might arise while you're filming?
Man, that's all the time. That's so you gotta be expert at risk management. That's where my project management comes in, and patience is key. I tell people all the time, patience is key. Even when you get everything ready to roll, like we had this ready to go so many times, and something else came up. Something else came up. Be patient. Be patient. Already have in your mind, like the way I do things, I think worst case scenario and I work from there. Right. I build up from there, worst case scenario, and then I build up. So that way nothing comes across as an unexpected surprise or whatnot. And anytime you're doing something like this that involves a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, something's gonna happen. I've been on productions where I didn't know how important, sometimes I can go a couple hours or a day without eating. That ain't everybody. You know what I mean? So I've been on productions where the food was late. And I'm like, well, we got, man, them folks got cranky, angry.
Right.
And we were like, yo, we gotta go get this food. So these folks, so little things like that, man, it's all important. You have to be prepared. We had to do something off the cuff, fly off the cuff, and go get some pizzas from somewhere because the food thing fell through. But we had to take care of them folks.
Yeah,
Take care
most
of them
definitely.
people. But you just got to be prepared, man, all the time for whatever.
Okay, so my last question is from idea all the way to the big screen. What is kind of the process or the steps that go through in that?
Wow.
Throughout that, excuse me.
So, oh man, gosh. So from Eat the Bread, I honestly, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking about one of my story and development mentor, and I went through so many versions of this thing. Like, and these, when you get to certain levels and you deal with certain people in the industry, these folks are brutally honest, right? They got no time to worry about your feelings. I've had stuff that just almost angry, like, you know, all that. Okay, what else next? This ain't it, So I went through different versions of that, almost a year till I got it to the point to where I'm like, oh, they actually giving me compliments about this thing. That was almost 2 years. That was so you have to have that level of dedication and get your pitch deck, your treatment, your synopsis, your budget. You got all these different things that just go into like your presentation, and then you get it to people that send it back. Say, okay, we still need to do this. We still need to do that. So it's still a process. So I mean, what you want to is take what you have and have them say, okay, let me see that, change this, and then get that back to me. You don't want them saying, no, I'm not interested next. So as long as they're engaged and as long as they're interested, you have that door, you got that opportunity. But it takes time to get that story. Um, I didn't know so many different things went into character development, story development, arcs, ABC story, all of that stuff. And it makes sense once you really understand how it works in writing and telling the story that is going to keep everybody engaged through the entire time of however long the project is.
Yes, yes. Thank you, David.
All right, guys. So listen, we are here with the phenomenal David Williamson, and we are talking about this new up and coming film called Eat the Bread. So make sure you click on the link in the comments and go check out that trailer. It was amazing. And listen, if you have any questions, what's your version of Eat the Bread? Put it in the chat so we can read your comment. I'm gonna jump in the comments for a second. Um, let's see. Chevelle says, my history with Eat the Bread is unfortunate and sad because the kids at David D. Jones lost a friend in the woods behind the school, and we were told Eat the Bread was the person that took our friend. So it was very traumatic for us up until adulthood. Yeah, Shalonda Poole. Right? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I should have said the name, but yeah, that was a part of the story that we actually heard in Hampton Homes. Yeah. Travis Goodmore says, "Man, them late nights going through them cuts. That's why most of us can run."
Yep.
Absolutely. Diamond Morris. Shout out to Diamond Morris. She's
Hey,
laughing
Diamond.
Hey,
like
Diamond.
crazy. Travis Gilmore said, "Chewy, stay in the house. Close the door."
Hey.
And Chanel Foster says, "I was today years old when she found out about Eat the Bread."
Hey, well now you know.
And Chevelle said, "Yes, the bridge was true. The bridge was true with the little girl." Travis Gilmore says, "Yo, my grandma said he picked her up, and then somebody was there. Real talk. He was a cave driver. I mean, a cab driver. I'm sorry. He was a cab driver."
You got an Uber now.
Nita Nita Sewell says, "Y'all got me scared now. Sheesh."
Don't be scared.
When you're talking about your testimony, Chanel Foster said, "Touch and agree. It is so. It will sell out theaters around the globe."
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you.
Chevelle says your dream is dope, but yet shows the layers of your artistry to want to see others' response. Like you just genuinely want to just see what they think of your work. Absolutely. Marquita Press says that's giving scary, but I love the thrill. The trailer. Keidrin Coleman says, "I can't wait to watch it."
Yeah.
Gene Blackman says, "It looked like it will be a good movie."
Yes.
Travis Gilmore said, "This gonna be dope." Chevelle said, "That just did something in my chest. It took my breath. Beautiful mind." And I don't think I shut it out Chamisa Robinson, but shout out to Chamisa. Thank you for tuning in. LeVar Origin is in the building.
Hey, LeVar.
Krista Harrison says, "Hey everyone."
Hi.
LeVar Stimpson also says, "Peace everyone. We used to squad up every morning and afternoon walking to Wally Elementary School or Clackley Recreation Center past those woods." Marquita Brett said, "Was this your dream job?"
Yeah, filmmaking and storytelling was my dream since I was a kid. Writing poetry, telling stories. So this is it. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do.
Absolutely. Christy Reed said I was years old also when she found out about Eat the Bread.
Mhm.
Well, now y'all know. Y'all make sure y'all get in their house before them street lights come on. So, guys, y'all, we have a game. Of course, we have a game. So we have a game today. Lisa Sheila says, "Hey, y'all. Hi, Lisa."
Hi.
But we're gonna go ahead and turn it over to Wendy, and she's gonna tell us all about the game for today.
Yes. Okay, so today our game is called Not Your Average Movie Project. Okay? Because we screenwriters up
Yeah,
here.
we screenwriters.
Yeah, we
The
screenwriters.
screenwriters, we got a Nacho Choir,
Okay.
and
Yeah, we do it all.
and we make menus at the New Summit Cafe on the Old Summit Avenue. We
All
do it
right,
all.
all right.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do it all. We do it all. Okay, this game consists of collaborating on a movie project, but you have two options to choose as a screenwriter of how you would end this movie. Okay, your choices are soul food and menace to society.
Uh-oh.
Right? Ain't that
Mhm.
what you
Yep,
chose?
yep.
Okay.
Okay, so therefore, menace to I'm gonna choose menace to society first. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Okay,
got
go
that
ahead
little
with
bit
it.
of I got a little bit thug in me. but well, first I want to tell y'all how menace to society ended.
Let us know.
Okay.
Wendy.
Yes. So Kane, which was dating Jada Pickett,
Yes.
and then we had what's the guy with the Lorenz Tate
Lorenz Tate.
in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so something had happened, and the other guys were coming through on the street
Mm-hmm.
and started shooting.
Mm.
But Jada Pickett's son was outside on his big wheel. So Kane started running towards him, and of course, he got shot, but he was able to cover up the little boy.
Oh my God.
Okay. So at the end, Kane also said his grandfather always asked him, "Would you rather live or die?" And so you have to pay attention to the things you do in life because it'll come back and get you.
Yes.
Okay. So how I would have ended that movie, I probably would have protected the little boy. I still would have let Kane get shot, from protecting. Okay, wait, let me act like I'm directing it. So
Your thing, Wendy.
so so Kane is going to go out and protect the little boy.
Yes.
And then after that, they're going to go to the hospital. Okay. Kane is going to be in there for several months. God is going to start talking to Kane. He's going to change his life around. And then Jada and Kane are going to get married. And then they're going to live happily ever after.
That's a good one because I
Yeah.
thought they was gonna get out of there.
Yeah.
Because they was packing up.
Yeah.
They was leaving. So
Mhm. That would be my ending.
that's a good
Okay.
job, Wendy.
Thank you so much. I'm a screenwriter. I work,
Can you tell
I
us
work
the ending?
beside
Can you tell us the ending
him
of
on
Soul
Eat the
Food too?
Bread. Huh?
Can you tell us the ending of Soul Food?
Oh yeah. Okay, so the ending of Soul Food
Yes.
was when Ahmad went to all the family members because you remember
I was the little boy.
Yes, everybody was separated due to a lot of different things that was happening in family. Big Mama, she was in a hospital.
Mhm.
Then she passed away,
Yes.
but they always had soul food dinners at Big Mama house.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So Ahmad took it amongst himself to try to get all the family members together. And he went and told them that Big Mama had some money stashed in the house.
Yes.
So everybody came, of course, to the house because they wanted to get that money. So at the end, Ahmad started crying and he put a towel on the stove, which was burning up the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a
So
pitch
then
black.
after that, the uncle, was it the uncle?
It was the
Or the
brother.
brother?
It was
The brother,
grandma's
Yeah.
brother.
right? Which is the
The
uncle.
uncle.
Yeah. So the uncle came out, had a TV, and had all the money,
Yeah.
and that was
Dropped it or
his.
something, right?
Dropped it,
Yeah.
and all the money fell out the TV.
Yeah.
So the way that I would end that, I probably would, since Papa got all the money.
Right.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
I would get that money. I would remodel the house. And I would keep having the Sunday dinners over there. And I would also get everybody together and talk about how important it is, which I'm sure they did that anyway, but how important it is for them to stick together and make sure they continue that legacy and, make sure they have those family events, not just soul food dinners, even like traveling, just different things like that. Sit down and have something together where they're going to do more than just the soul food dinners. And that cousin that comes in town, make sure she would be there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can keep that legacy going on. But I would take that money and remodel that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fix the
What I
house
would
up.
look at.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yes.
Who's next?
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Williamson.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Man,
What was it,
so
Miss Society, right?
Menace to Society, how would I? Because I kind of got the message of how it ended. You know,
Mhm.
I really got that. But I'm a sucker for a happy ending too.
Yeah.
You know, I would have loved to seen them. I guess without really messing with the message too much, I could see him getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
And probably after he saved the little boy, he's laying up in a coma or whatnot, and Jada's, talking to him, and I could see them thinking he's gonna die, and then like ending it with him squeezing her hand or something.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Just like ending it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just leave it like that.
We in alignment.
Yeah, we right there. We right there.
You said go get married and
Well,
stuff.
well,
Yeah. You said
we
happy
both
ending.
said-
Yeah, I
we
get-
both said that he was at the
but
hospital.
I like the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got the message was I was a teen when Menace to Society came out, so I got the message on that. Big Mama's house, I don't know.
No, soul food.
I
not Big
That's
Mama.
right. What am I thinking? Soul's food. Soul food. I
was
got
Big
Big
Mama
Mama
house,
on the
though.
brain right there.
Big Mama house.
So I that one I really got how the family came together and everything. I don't know. I really like the way Soul Food ended. I think I would have liked to have seen an ending if they would have had another big family meal, right? Kind of you remember how they did it in Antoine Fisher
Right.
when
I know
he
what you
finally
mean.
got that, kind of something like that, and leaving a place for Big Mama,
Yeah.
like an
Mm.
It
empty
was more
chair
of a
for
cliff,
Big
Yeah.
Mama.
cliffhanger.
Right,
on
you know
that
what I
when they
mean?
did, Yeah.
I like for those things to resonate emotionally.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would have been what, but I mean, it was still it ended pretty good. I still liked it that way.
All right, let's give it up for him, y'all.
Yeah.
Give it up.
Oh yeah.
So for the executive producer, D. Ashley Good. So with what was it? Menace to Society, right? Well, Menace to Society, of course, he had to get shot. Once he had got shot, go to the hospital. I would say I like the part about being in a coma, so I could bite that from you. But he wakes up out the coma and he's paralyzed from the neck down. So now Jada has to make a decision. Is she going to stay by his side or is she going to leave? Can she stay there and take care of him in that state? So then from there, you can have a whole other movie or two or three. For the other one, which was
Soul Food.
Soul Food. All right. So the way it ended, it was pretty cool, but I would remodel the house as well, but I would turn it into Big Mama House restaurant where you can only eat there on Sundays, and it's ran by the family. Keep the legacy in the family. And yeah, Big Mama House restaurant, but it's the house, remodel it with the money and keep it going.
Okay.
So
Well, good one.
good.
Good one.
Thank
Good
you,
one.
thank
Good
you, thank you.
job.
Yeah, because that's keeping that revenue, keeping that money going too.
Yeah.
one. Right.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Let's see. With Minister Society, real quick, I would have did exactly what everybody else did, but I think I would have had came the shootout. Everything would have happened. He would have been over the board, but he didn't get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
One of those close call situations, and then it went into that happy ending, like y'all both were saying. Well, he was in the hospital with you. You said marriage, right? Yeah. So after that, they went on, moved, and did their thing, and stayed together and happy ending. With Soul Food, I probably would have left that like it was. I got the message. It was clear to me, and that was one of my favorite movies back then to show the black family and black love. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? So I would have left that the same. But that's mine. Go ahead, Troy.
All right. So Menace to Society, I would have had Jada get shot and not Kane, and then he would have been a single father, right? Stepdaddy.
Mm-hmm.
And raising a son on his own, and they would have cut to like
That's
him
good.
sending the son off to college, and they having like a memorial of the mom, like in the living room, you know,
Mhm.
something real nice and cute. For that,
Cute. Okay.
Not cute.
Sentimental, sentimental.
Cute or not cute?
But y'all know I throw around cute. It's
Go ahead.
For soul food, I would have probably had the same ending, except the money I would have wanted them to open like a restaurant, like a really nice family style restaurant where everybody was able to come and have a family style meal, you know, where it's just dishes everywhere, that type of deal. Round tables with the little thing topsy turvy in the middle, we could spin it around. But yeah, have them continue their tradition with other people, and then maybe make it a chain restaurant that could be in many different cities and stuff like that. But
Oh, so you and Ashley, okay.
In
y'all-
business.
We got
Yeah, they making the money.
Making money.
we'll get something done over there.
Okay.
That's right. Any last words, Mr. David Williams, son?
Yes.
Man, I appreciate you guys inviting me. Really want the city. Let's get behind this. And let's really put Greensboro on the map. That's one of my
Get it.
goals. Your support. I'm here to support you guys. Your support in getting this project made. There's a lot of pretty well-known folks that are interested, and I'm adamant about, you know, the city being shot here, done here, local talent. We last time we talked about the music. Sound music is a huge part of my creative process. Using local artists for music that's going to be involved in this. We're going to announce that at another date. I have one right now. It's my cousin. Then I have another artist out of Charlotte that's already jumped on this. So when that comes, we'll announce that. But this is just as much. This is for everybody.
What's up?
This
Is it
is
an
for
opportunity
everybody.
for other
Yeah,
actors?
Yeah. When we get to a certain point where certain things are done and, you know, some ink is dry on the paperwork, then I'll make some announcements, and then we'll be looking for some local talent.
Nice.
Dope.
I'll do the rap for you. So just
Okay, yeah.
call me.
Period.
Yeah. Someone said Raven Hooker.
Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Tell off. And also Vanessa Ferguson. That's a good look too.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
That's her cousin.
Yeah.
She ain't
on
want to
Broadway
say
right
it.
now. She's on Broadway.
That's what's up. You ready for the game, Chewy?
Y'all ready?
We already did the game, but we are ready for the quote.
Quote in the wheel. Quote in the wheel.
That's okay.
Yes, he is ready for the game.
Quote in the wheel.
Yeah.
The game. The wheel.
It's all right. We picked it up for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So if you are new, first off, thank you all for tuning in to Not Your Average Podcast.
Yes.
I know we're here every Monday around 7:30-ish. And we thank y'all all for tuning in. If this is your first day here, your first time here, each and every Monday we give $25 to one lucky viewer who decided to share the live. If you have indeed shared a live and either put it in our comments, we were able to see it on our Facebook page. We've added you to our Nacho wheel. And at the end of every show, we spin our wheel to give away $25 to one lucky contestant. So if you have not shared the live, this is the perfect time to do so before we go over the Nacho quote. If you have shared a live, I'm about to call out your name. And if you don't hear your name called and you know that you did share a live, put it in the comments for us so that we can add you to the wheel and that you have your valid chance at winning $25.
Woo, 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 woo.
Whoop, 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 whoop. So at the top, and actually I got to add one more person. I just saw. All right. So at the top, I have Chevelle, Chanel Foster, Nita Sewell, Travis Gilmore, Kendra Attaway, Diana Gilmore, Catrell Sides, Corey McCann, Chamisha Robinson, LeVar Origin Stimson, and Crystal Harriston.
Yes.
Yes. So again,
Right.
if you have shared a live and you did not hear your name on that list, go ahead and put it in the comments and we'll add you to the list. while we do that, I'm gonna go ahead and go over our Nacho quote. This one is a little lengthy, so bear with me. It's like a Nacho poem, I think. But it says, I asked God for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked God for wisdom, and God gave me problems to solve. I asked God for prosperity, and God gave me brawn and brains to work. I asked God for courage, and God gave me dangers to overcome. I asked for patience, and God placed me in situations where I was forced to wait. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and God gave me opportunity. I asked for everything so I could enjoy life. Instead, He gave me life so that I can enjoy everything. I received nothing I wanted, but I received everything I needed.
Oh yeah, send me that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I need that.
That's
Thank you,
nice.
thank
I
you,
love
thank
that.
you.
You're welcome. Okay, so again, if you did not hear your name on the wheel, go ahead and put it in the chat. We're gonna add you on. Is anybody dropped in there, y'all? Y'all see anybody yet?
No, I don't see nobody extra.
All right, we about to spin this thing.
Lisa says she love that.
Thank you, Lisa. Let me do it quick. Let me do a little shuffle. Okay,
All right.
Wendy.
We spinning,
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna pass this to you.
Oh.
Okay. I'm pushing it.
Yeah, you're gonna push the button. Well, I just wanted David to be able to see it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you just click. No, it's not touchscreen. We ain't got there yet.
Okay.
All right, just click the mouse button. There you go. Woo.
And we have a few people in the comments saying post it. Could you post that quote, please, on Nacho
Absolutely,
page?
Mm-hmm. Catrell size, Dana.
Hey,
Congratulations.
size.
Yes.
First time win. I think
Yes.
this is the first time winning.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, congratulations,
Charlie
Katrina.
said that. Yeah.
And yes, I'll
Get your
definitely add that
$25.
into on our Nacho page as well, y'all.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
amazing show.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Great
Super
job.
dope.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure you tap on the link in the comments. Watch the trailer to Eat the Bread. Again, even though once we get off live, you can still tell us your Eat the Bread story because he can look in there and you never know. Your Eat the Bread story might make it to the big screen. You never know. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. Please make sure you cut on your notifications. Follow us on all social media platforms. We appreciate you. We love you all so much. And tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. with the award-winning Not Your Average podcast.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm your main man, William Hussey 365.
And I'm your girl, Ashley Good, better known as Ash Best in your city, Panda Girl.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm your girl, Wendy Armstrong. Wendy Armstrong, also known as Wendy HLP.
Go ahead.
I'm Kimberly Hussey, also known as Miss Chewy Monroe.
Okay, Mr. David, give it to him.
I'm David. David Speaks. You can find me online. And I thank you guys for your time. Any questions, just hit me up. I'm here. I'm available.
That's what's up, my brother.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
David.
And we are
Not Your Average Podcast.
And we out.
Woo, woo, woo. And stay on the lookout. He's looking for people, talent, you, Greensboro. Thank you.
You, me, us, we.